गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आज हम सेल्सफोर्स में इंटीग्रेशंस के कुछ इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। डिफाइन द इंटीग्रेशंस पैटर्न। An integration pattern is a standardized methodology used for integrating the data within the system. This is the methods provide the proven way to the slow and evaluate problem during the integration without reinventing the wheel. Next question, name the four types of the integrations patterns. The four integration pattern types are point-to-point integrations, hub and spoke integrations, API gateway integrations, event driven architecture integrations. Next questions, define the common integrations, design the pattern of the Salesforce. The common integration design the patterns are application integration, functionality, and the future integration access system, data integrations, synchronization, and data integrations between the more than to the system. Process integrations extend the service and the business process across the system. Next question, what is the minimum requirement of test coverage for the deployment of the triggers? To deploy the code to the productions, you must ensure that all of the unit takes have successfully been carries out of the 7500 of the Apex code. Next questions. How can you deploy code in the Salesforce? There are the three deployment methods in the Salesforce: change the set, metadata API, and migration tools. Next question, describe the external ID in the Salesforce. Custom fields capable of the being used to the records or unique the identifier the refer to as the external ID on one field must be designed as the external ID to import records. Next question, mention the fields data type which can be fields are capable of the being the market as external ID are emails, auto numbers, text number. The notable point is that only custom fields can be the used to an external ID. Next questions, name the different type of the reports available in the Salesforce. Type of reports available in the Salesforce are normally matrix reports, joint reports, summary reports. Next questions, define all ID, who ID, and the what ID in activities, leads, or contact are generally categories under the who ID. One the other hand, object like account ID, opportunity ID are the generally categories under the what ID. Next question, how can one utilize Apex code to the obtain the user's ID of the all currencies sign in? The global function user info get the users can the retrieve the ID of users who currently log in the using the user ID. Next question, mention how to many records, that is a select query and a SQL query can the returns. 50,000 is the maximum number of the records returns by the SQL commands. However, the complete records returnable under the SQL command are the 2000s. Next question, define the attribute tags. Custom compounds, the attribute is defining as the attribute tags as the chats of the compounds tag. It is also easily and identifiable. Next questions, what do you mean by the connected app? Framework for integrating the Salesforce to external app using the standard notebook protocol, security assertions, markup language, SAML, and API out and open the ID connect. Next question, what do you mean by the change the data captures? Integrating you said Salesforce data using the streaming product must be the change the data capture. You can get real-time update. to Salesforce record change and corresponding the records can categorize in the external data storage. You can also create the change in the Salesforce records such as the designing, delete, and undelete and update operation. Next questions. Explain the external service. External service connect to the Salesforce ORG and API externally using any code, creating an invocable action within the Salesforce. The open API specialization and declarative tools describe the external API and functionality. Next question, how can you define the data scale in the Salesforce? When the working with the large client, there are the number of stand where a single user hold you up to 10,000 records. This is a condition in the Salesforce is a refer to as a ownership data scale. As a result of the data scale that these users have to the face server the performance using one of the performing update. Next question, name the fields and automatically index in the Salesforce. The fields automatically indexed into the Salesforce are follow. Audit the date, custom date, primary keys and foreign keys. How many assignment rows and can you the mention in the leads case? At a time, there can be the only one can active the rules. Name of the criteria for time dependent workflow action, but that is one of the cannot be create. For the create and the every times it's edited and creation of the times dependent workflow action is not the allowed. Next questions. Name of the custom setting type in the Salesforce hierarchy custom setting list custom setting. Next questions. Mention the possible advantage of using the custom settings. Hierarchical custom setting service focus on the providing the specific profile users without the personalization setting using the hierarchical logic and built-in. On the other hand, list of the custom setting will provide the set of the static reusable data which can be the access represent respective of the any users within the organization. Next question, right of the charters limit at a custom levels. There is a maximum allowance of the 5,000 custom levels for an organization and the charters can reach maximum of 1,000 in the length. Next question, there are the three types of the binding users in the user force name them. They are the type of the bonding used to in Salesforce are the normally compound binding, data binding, and action binding. Next questions. What are the areas where users can use Apex class? The areas under which Apex can be the employees for us are management of the image service for of the creation of the web service, result of the custom transaction logic. Custom logic can be the attached to the another operation. Admin can be also create the complex business process. Next question, what are the virus mention of the batch Apex class? Start, execute, finish. These are the three known methods used to deploy data in batchable interface by the batch Apex class. Next question, write a 5 line about the Apex programming language. The Apex programming language is very handy and easy to win. It is come to using very easy when the come to testing. It is a integrated version. Lastly, it is a multi-talent where the application. Next questions. What are the benefit of API lead connectivity? The key benefit of the API lead connectivity include reusability, discoverability, availability, and resiliency. Clear the contact between the system, visibility, and the security. Write all of the example of the non-determinations in the post.com and formula fields. Example of the non-deterministic and fields and the Salesforce include formula fields and contacting the reference span or offer entities entities and areas the comparing the dynamic data and functions. Look up the fields. Next question. State the difference between the DML statement, database insert and insert calls. The command insert is used to if and errors across if any records system expectation insert fades and expectations will be the thrown and system will be the insert no records. If we allow portal Berkeley option, we use to database insert and insert. Next question, Salesforce integration, the interview questions and answers for very important. So next questions, what are the REST API, the composite resource? The REST API, the composite resource include composite gap, batch, object collections, object tree, composite. Next question, how can you use to the asynchronous apex? Asynchronous apex can be used in the given the way future methods, curable apex, schedule apex, batch apex. Next question, name of the maximum possible number of the callout in the single apex transaction to an external service. There is allowance to the for 100 callout to external service in the single apex transaction is the governor determine this limit. Next question, what is the job of the Salesforce developers? Understanding the Epic platform and having a complete experience of it are the two period requirements. Salesforce developers must process to be create app. The Salesforce developer leverage framework like the Lightning compounds and visible force and Apex. Next questions. Write the requirement skills of Salesforce developers. The necessary skills in Salesforce developer must be process are data management, automation, security, change management, user management, change the management. Next question, how can you call and control methods from the JavaScript? Take a look of the given the piece of the code to understand how to controller methods in call and using the action function script. In function methods call from any actions. Call from Apex page. Next questions. What are the two common type of the web service? The two commonly known the type of the web service include RESTful web service, SOAP web service. Next question. Define the WSDL and XML document describe web the service in the call WSDL. Two major type of the WSL, WSDL in the Salesforce, including partners WSDL, enterprise WSDL. Next question, how can the someone generate the WSDL like files? If take several step of the generate WSL files, setup, development, Apex classes, click the Apex class, click the generate WSDL, generate the code from the class, save the code as a WSDL file into the your system. Next question, how many way do you know of XML parsing? There are two way for the XML parsing, XML stream, XML DOM. Next questions, define the custom labels in the Salesforce. The variable of the custom text assembled from the visual force page or the Apex classes are the call in custom label. The primary benefit of custom label include the creating value value is available in the any language there, that is the Salesforce support this creating the multilinguals and application is a significant and benefit is the several users. Next questions, what is the integrations? Integration is a process of the connecting the two application. Topical enterprise using the many applications, many the most of the which are not the design to the work with of the another the out of box integrating the separate but related related app that helps organization to achieve the greater level the operational consistency and efficiency and the quality. Each application can be have data, business logic, presentation, and the security layers. All of the which of the possible target if for integrations. This is the page is the overall the launch on the launch point of the exporting the virus integration option. The related force.com is the other the Salesforce platform technologies. Next question, what are the possible way to then integrate with the possible force.com? Use the interface integration, the combined the UI to the more app to the create composite app. It is the little or rework on the UI of the each individual app. Example in using the force.com canvas business logic the integrations. It is to Apex web service for the inbound and Apex collection from the outbound. It perfectly handle of the sensor where the business logic is spare across the server application and implement the complete end-to-end business process. And the example will be building the complex logic in the data received before committing the into the Salesforce. And data integration used to SOAP API and REST API is it is a topically handled data and synchronizations and requirement where on the applications in the interface act of the primary source. Next questions. What is a web service? Web service is a functionality is a code which help to us to the integration web service are open standard XML. So HTTP based web application that is interact with other web application for the purpose of the exchanging data. A web service can be convert your the exiting application into the web applications. Next question, what is a protocol? Protocol is a set of manually accepted and implemented rules at both end of the communications channels for the proper exchange of the informations. Next question, how many types of the API available in Salesforce? REST API, SOAP API, bulk API, streaming API, metadata API, charters REST API, and user interface API, and list REST API, and Apex REST API, and Apex SOAP API, and tooling the API. Next questions, when to use REST API? REST API provide the powerful conversion and simple the REST-based web service interface to the interacting with Salesforce. It is an advantage include the ease of the integrations and the development, and it is an excellent choice of the technology for us with mobile applications and the web project. For certain project you may want to the use REST API with other the Salesforce REST API to build UI for the creating and updating and the deleting records, including the building UI for the list view the actions and the dependent pick list used to user interface API. To build API for the charters, community, and recommendations, use the charters REST API. If you have many records to process, consider using bulk API, and which is based on of the REST principle, one optimized for the large set of the data. Next question, when to use to SOAP API? SOAP API provide the powerful convenient and the simple SOAP based web service interface to the interacting the web Salesforce. You can use the SOAP API to create the retrieve, update, delete records. You can also use the SOAP API to perform the search and much more. Use to SOAP API in any the language that is support web service. For example, you can use to SOAP API to the integrate Salesforce with your the ORG API and the finance system, you can also deliver real-time the sales support information to the company, personal and populate critical business system with our customer information. Next question, when to use to charter REST API? Use to charter REST API to display charters feeds, users group and followers specifically in the application of the charter REST API, also to provide the programmatic in access to files, recommendation topic, the notifications, data.com purchasing and more. The charter REST API similar is API offered by the other companies will be feeds such API Facebook and Twitter's, but it is also the exposed Salesforce features behind the chatters. Used to chatters REST API, the display the chatters feeds user groups and followers. Basically, more the application chatters REST API and provide the programmatic access to the files, recommendation, the topic, notification, data.com, the purchasing, and the more. Charter REST API and similar to the API offered by the other companies with the feeds such as the Facebook to the Twitter, but is also the expose and Salesforce features behind the chatters. Next questions. When used to streaming API. Used to streaming API is receives near real-time stream of the data based on the change in the Salesforce record of the custom payload for the Salesforce record change the Salesforce publish and notification window change and over the for the custom notification you can the publish event message and subscribe the can the receive the notification using the COMD and implementation of the BIOS, the protocol that is the simplest push and technology client can be subscribed to be such to some type of the event with the Apex triggers and declarativity without the protect build and flow. Next questions. When to us Apex REST API. Used to Apex REST API when you want to the expose what you want to the classes and the methods. So that is the external application can be accessed to the code engine. Throughout the REST architecture, Apex REST API and support both of mouth and 2.0 and the section ID for authorization. Next questions. When to us Apex SOAP API. Used to Apex SOAP API when you want to the expose Apex methods as a SOAP web service API. So that is external application can be accessed your the codes that through you the SOAP Apex Code API the support both the auth 2.0 and the sections ID and authorizations. Next questions. When to the use to tooling the API. Used to tooling API to integrate and Salesforce the metadata with of the other the system metadata types of the exported as the object. So you can access one compound of complex type. This is a feeds level access speed up the operations on complex the metadata type of you can the, also the build custom development tools for the Foursquare.com and application for the example using the tooling the API to manage and deploy the working copies of the Apex classes and triggers and validations page compounds. You can also the checkpoint of the help the market execute and announce Apex and access the login and code coverage information. Next question. What is the call in and call out? Call in used to exposing over the web service to another system. Call out of the enables you to the entirely integrated with the Apex without the external service by making the call in to an external web service to sending a HTTP request from the Apex code that is a and then the receiving the response. Next questions. What is the WSDL? WSDL web service describe the language is an XML document that is a described web service WSDL in derived from the Microsoft. Both NAWSL and SOAP as the means of expressing business service in the UDDI. This time it is used to in combination with of the SOAP and XML schema to provide the web service over the internet and client program connecting to the web service can be read the WSDL to the determine what of the function are the available on the server in it. Special data types is to the embedded into the WSDL file in the form of the XML schema the client and can be the soap to the actually equal on of the function listed on the WSDL. There are two types of the WSDL in the Salesforce. Uh, Enter, enterprise WSDL partners WSDL. What is the difference between the enterprise WSDL and the partners WSDL? Enterprise WSDL. The enterprise SWDL is a strong type. The enterprise WSDL is a try at the bound of the specific configuration of the Salesforce, specific organization Salesforce configurations. Enterprise WSDL change if modification custom fields and custom object are made to the organization Salesforce configurations. Partners is WSDL. The parents is W loosely type. The partners of WSDL can be the used to refresh again and integrated any the configuration of Salesforce in any organization the Salesforce configurations. The partners SWL static and the hence do not the change in the modification are the made to and organization the Salesforce configuration. Next, how to SOAP can be accessed. SOAP can be communicate and through the SWDL like WSDL file without the WSDL file cannot be integrations message format to in SOAP and XML. Next question, how to generate the WSDL? Go to the setup, develop the Apex class, click on the Apex class, click on the generate WSDL button. Enterprise WSDL partners WSDL. What is the difference between the enterprise SWL and partners SWL? Partners and SWL. Next questions. How to generate the WSDL files? Go to the setup, develop Apex classes. Click on the Apex class. Click on the generate WSDL buttons. Generate the SWDL code and from the class. Save all the WSDL file in the your system. Next question, how to consume external WSDL files in the application from the setup the enter Apex class in the quick fields box. Then the select Apex classes, click the generate from the SWDL and click the browse to the negative to the SWL document. You want your local hard drive the network type of in the bulk path is SWL document is the basic for the Apex class you are the creating. Next, click press WSDL to verify the SW documents contain the application generated to default class the name of the each namespace in the SW document and the reports any the reports passing the fields if the SW contain the schematic of the construct that is are not supported by the Apex classes if the resulting classes exit the median charters limit of the Apex classes. For the example, Salesforce SOAP API SWL cannot be pairs. Modify the class name of the desired field. You can be save more than is one of the SWL namespace into the single class by the using in the same class name for the each namespace. Apex classes can be the no more than is a 6 million charters totals. Click generate the Apex. The final page of the wizard show the which of the classes were the successfully generated along with of the any across from or the classes. The page also the provide a link of the view successfully generated the codes. Next questions, what is the SOAP and what is the REST API? Presentations state transfer. It is a basic URI. It is a work of the get, post, input, and delete, work over the HTTP and HTTPS. SOAP API, simple the object access protocol. It is based on the standard XML format. It is a work with WSDL, work over the with HTTP and HTTPS, SMPT, XMPPT. The difference between the REST API and the SOAP API. Why? So the records that can be the handle generally if we want to the access to less a number of the records, we go to the REST API. What is the WSDL? WSDL in the XML document which contain and the standardized description of how to the communicate using the web service. Next question: what are the different type of the WSDL? Enterprise SWL, partners SW, partners WSDL, Apex WSDL, metadata WSDL, tooling the WSDL, delaying the to this. Next question: difference between the enterprise WSDL and partners WSDL. Enterprise WSDL. It is used to all the following the client application for of the single Salesforce organizations. Customers who can enterprise the SWL document must be download and consume. It is when your the organization market is changed, is a custom object fits of the venue the every they want to the use to different version of API. Next, on partners WSDL, it is used to the building client application is for the multiple organization. The partner schedule documentation only need to be the downloaded and consumer once per version of the API. Questions. How can you expose an Apex class in the REST web service and in Salesforce? An Apex class can be the exposed REST web service by using the keywords and REST resource. Next question: how to fetch data from the another Salesforce in scans using the API used to forecast web service API, bulk API, and transfer data. We this is a great job for the bulk API. Next question: how to the call Apex methods from the custom buttons? Apex call out enables you can totally the integrate you Apex with of the external service by making a call to an external web service to sending the HTTP request from the Apex code and then the receiving the response. Apex provides the integration web service utilize the SOAP and the WSDL and HTTP service RESTful service. Next question: what is what is the use of Charters REST API? The Charters API also the call in Charters REST API lets you access Charters information with the optimized REST based the API assembled from any the platform developers can now the build social application for the mobile device highly interactive the mobiles quickly effectively. Next question: how to the fetch data from another Salesforce instant API using the API used to the post.com web service API, bulk API, and transfer data. With this, the great job for the bulk API. Next question: what are call out and call ins? Making a request to an external system from the Salesforce is a call out. Getting the request from the external system in the call out in. Next question: how many columns external service can be made in the single Apex transactions? A total of the 100 callouts are the allowed into the single Apex transactions. Next question: what is the maximum allowed time limit in the making of the call out to external service in the Apex? Maximum of the 120 records time of the limit in enforce without the making call out to external service. Next question: what is the default timeout fed without the calling? Without the calling the web service from Apex 10 seconds. Next question: can we define the custom time out of the each call out? Custom time can be the defined for each call outs. The minimum times is a first millisecond and maximum 1,20,000 milliseconds. Next question: how to increase the timeout? Will be calling with the service from the Apex document sample the document port stamp new the some sample document samples some timeout 2000s timeout in the millisecond. Next question: what is the streaming API? Streaming API is used to push notification information data change into client notification are sent from the Salesforce to the client based on the criteria that is we defined. Let us take an example. When the server is down, you can want to the notify you the again to the work, and on other server we can use streaming API to notify again. The next question: how to create the streaming API? We can the build streaming API using the multiple way. Below the are some of the important approach to the build streaming API. STP using the log pools and methods using the STP server who hold a connection for the client until data becomes available for the server. If data is immediately available in the connections is not held, come out over the HTTP command is a web application method is in which long head and HTTP request allow a web server to the push data as a browser without the browser exploiting and existing. It is a commit at the framework. It is an implementation of the BIOX and protocol. Yes, XML PPT designed for the publish subscribe on of the web, but is not HTTP based. XMPP extensible messaging and the process protocol has a lot of the functionality beyond that what is needed to the web streaming API. XML HTML5 event source. The event source interface is the web content. The interface is server the sent event and event source and instant option the precedent connection to the HTTP server, which of this send an event in the event stream the format from the connection remains the open until the close by the calling the event source close and server the event sent event and any directions. Next question: what is a push and technology? Push technology in the internet communication system is a which the transaction request is generated by the central web server, the publisher. Push the technology, it is the opposite to pull and technology, where the transformation transmissions request is made by the client or receiver. Next questions: what is a BIOX protocol? BIOX is a protocol for transporting the trans message the primary over the HTTP. Next question: what is the message reliability? Message reliability provided for end-to-end generated delivery and order of the message regarded of how many intermediaries invalid how to many network who are the required to the deliver the message from of the client of the service. Message reliability is based on of the industry standard for the reliable message based communication that is maintained destination at transport levels. Next question: what is the message and durability? Durability keep the message precedence from the any suitable consumer for them. What is the difference between the streaming the API and REST API? REST API web the service that is follow the request to response the patterns we used to will make the individual request for the information from the REST API and receive the appreciate data in the single response. After that is a response is sent back on of the users the connections close out only to be the upon the when the users make on the request of the API REST API perfect for the users and wanting the snapshot of the where the information does not change every frequently. Next, streaming API. Streaming API maintain the precedence the connection of the connect continually. You send the update data the users until the connection is streamlined. Streaming the API are the perfect when users meet need to the consume of the extend the flow and repeatedly updating the live data. The server is repeatedly send response back with updated information until the connection is eventually closed by the users. थैंक यू सो मच फ्रेंड, मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। थैंक यू बाय।